This is the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms for women entrepreneurs to be seen and heard. This platform is for women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. These are the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they want to build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome to the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast and the Shine On You Crazy Daisy book volume 2. And today I have Charlotte Lester from CVA Associates. Charlotte, thank you so much for being here. Please tell us about your business.
Yes, so I run CVA Associates, which is the agency side of my business. And recently I've developed, I'm known as the Burnout Slayer. So I've developed the Burnout Slayer Toolbox, which is the overall of my business, because most people know me from the agency side, which we provide business support and management and implementation support to our clients to be able to scale their business. But I also have other sides to the business that people don't necessarily know that much about. So that's where the Burnout Slayer Toolbox comes in, and it covers our products and our courses and programs that we have as well.
Amazing. I hadn't heard that, so I'm excited about that. Thank you.
I know, it's like a new development.
What I love about your chapter was that lots of people, when they start their own business, they fall into it or they don't want to start a business. You actively went to Google and put in work from home jobs. I love how you did that, but how did you settle on becoming a VA from that?
Yes, so in all honesty, I kind of settled on becoming a VA because it was the only role that I found that complemented my skill set and where I'd came from. And I felt as though, although the VA kind of was there, I was doing higher level work in the corporate world. So when I stumbled upon the VA term, I thought, I'll give it a go, see what happens. I didn't really have anyone that had a business in my family, so I didn't really believe that I could have a business, in all honesty. So so I just kind of felt that fitted my skill set, and that's probably where I could just go over to, and it's a job, is what I was thinking back then.
Yeah, wow. And I should say VA is virtual assistant. But so did you then, so you decided you were going to do that. Did clients come and find you? Did you go and find clients? How did you start out from that?
Yeah, so I'd done a course to become a VA, and that was great because coming from the corporate world, I knew how to do the job, and I knew how to do the job really well, but I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't have those, I didn't even know where to start. So I invested in a course, which was amazing. I'd done some cold outreach emails that worked really well. I know people say, no, don't do that, but it worked really well, especially earlier on in business. And I was approached by people that I'd worked with in the corporate world that had then set up their own business as well. And it took probably about 4 months, and then it just rocketed. And it kind of ended up being, I'm working all the hours under the sun. What do I do? So then what you did is Google. Yeah. Back to good Google.
Then you Googled and found an OBM, which is an online business manager, and found a way of helping your clients. But at what stage did you feel like you needed expansion?
If I'm completely honest, I actually probably felt that I needed expansion from the minute I started doing the VA work, because VAs are amazing, and this isn't kind of saying that what they do isn't high level, but from coming from where I was in the corporate role, where I was doing business management, high level, board level PA and EA kind of roles, I felt that I'd taken a step back. So a lot of the work that I got as a VA was data entry work and was kind of generic admin. And I found myself kind of sitting there thinking, this is boring. I know I wanted a job, and I know I wanted to work and still look after my family, but I'm not enjoying it. And that's when I really felt like my clients were saying to me, well, you're actually doing more than a VA. Oh, you're doing really well. And I started getting a lot of clients come to me that weren't getting the level of service that they were expecting from other people. And then I started thinking, hang on a minute, what am I missing? And that's when I started looking at what other people around me were doing. And I was like, I'm doing way more in comparison to servicing my clients than what is expected of a VA. And that's when I really stumbled upon the term of online business manager. And that was exactly what I was doing for my clients. That fitted the role that I was doing, but I wasn't charging that. Yeah. And if anything, I was actually undercharging myself as a VA as well. So that's when I really thought, this needs to change. And this is why ultimately I'm feeling that I'm burning out, because I'm undercharging and I'm over servicing, and I don't know what to do now. How do I change this? And when I realized that actually the role I was doing was an online business manager, I then got into this bubble of, how do I tell my clients this? Because ultimately I'm going to be tripling, if not more, what they're paying for them to get the same service as what they have been getting. So all the mind monkeys come in and say, no, you can't tell them that you're going to charge like X amount every month for what you've already been doing for them. So I kind of felt that actually I'm going to transition, and that worked really, really well. So once I started to transition into it, a lot of the clients kind of either needed something else or needed something different, didn't need a business manager. And they had grown in their own ways, got employees and whatever else. And some clients grew with me as a business manager side.
And it's really interesting because I was in Australia for 17 years, and the industry of virtual assistants and online business management has become so big over there. And when I've been back in the UK, it's just becoming a thing now. And to watch how OBMs have grown and the abilities that they're able to bring to a business. I have a OBM for my business, and then we have a VA that helps support her, which is a much more functional way of growing and scaling a business. So I love it when people find these terms, know it's what they can do, know it's where they're going to be challenged for themselves as much as challenging you as your business. And it gives you the ability as an OBM to be able to say, and I can get you help with virtual assistants where and when we need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You say that life is too short not to enjoy. Now that you have your own business, how are you navigating the ups and downs with that?
I think for me, it takes a lot of inner work. So I have OCD, which is like a check-in OCD. And I often found myself, especially earlier on in business, having more OCD episodes, as I would call them, because I was getting stressed out. I was so time restricted and I was ultimately burning myself out. So for me, it's taken a lot of inner work to be able to cope with the stresses that come with business. And, I think everyone will say, business isn't meant to be stressful. You're meant to just, it's meant to be fun. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. But there are days where it can be stressful because not everything goes right every single day. And it's being able to cope with that from my perspective, and being able to build on my self-confidence, I think has also been a really big contributor to being able to deal with the ups and downs and be confident standing the decisions that you make.
Yeah, that's massive. I was talking to someone the other day about the decisions you have to make when you've got your own business, and it becoming a massive part of how you're then able to function in your business is the ability to make those decisions with confidence and trust in yourself, and all that inner work that comes into it. Yeah. It's mind-blowing when anybody, and this is why I love doing this podcast, is when anybody starts a business and thinks, oh, that's fine, I'll just go and decide that I'm this and put it out there. There is so much more that goes into it, and it's worth listening to this podcast, reading the book, seeing the stories and going, crikey, am I up for that? Because it is not an overnight success, which is why I loved at the beginning. You said it took 4 months to get clients in. There's a lot of work that goes into this overnight success that people talk about, crikey. I remember somebody really big in Australia who had a big multi-million-pound dollar business. She said it was 8 years for my overnight success. And that really struck a chord with me when we can look at life is too short. We do want to enjoy it, but to get the success that we want with our businesses, it takes that extra confidence and courage to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I've got so much to say on this. Right. If there was one lesson that you've learned that every entrepreneur should know, what would it be?
I think it's to believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And believe that you can do it, because I think, as I've mentioned earlier on in business, I just felt, oh well, maybe I could earn £100 here and there and it would be better than not earning money. But believing that I can achieve something means that you can actually dream bigger, and you can dream that you can get to that goal. And I think I would never in a million years at the beginning thought that I could run an agency. I would never have thought that. And it took a lot of work to get there, to believe that I could do that. And even some days now, I think, I can't believe what I'm doing, but it's working. And I think back then, I just wish that I had that self-belief to dream bigger, because I would be basically where I am today a lot sooner.
But everything in the right time. But it is absolutely belief at each stage that you can.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. What's your favorite piece of business software?
It has to be Asana.
Yes.
So love Asana. I'm an Asana Pro, certified Asana Pro, because it's the one tool that I use all the time throughout the day. It has everything in there. It's my business hub. It has my systems, has my processes, it has everything. And it's the way to be able to communicate and keep everything streamlined and simple. And that's ultimately what I'm about.
Yeah, I used to love Asana. The way that it can do your to-do lists and then segregate everything, and all your processes are in there. And brilliant. Charlotte, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being a part of the book and the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for watching the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. If you've liked what you've seen today, then please make sure that you click the subscribe button to this channel to see more inspiration and motivation as more of these stories keep coming out. And if you want even more, click on the link below this video and go and have a look at the series of books Shine On You Crazy Daisy, and get even more inspiration and motivation for you and your business.